Good afternoon everyone, this is Andy at Audi Upgrades. Hope you're well. It's been a little while since I managed to do a video, so I thought I'd quickly do one on this Q7 4M. This is actually an early 2016 Q7 4M, and back then within the UK there were really only two editions of Q7 4M that you could buy, either the SE edition or the S-Line edition. This is an SE edition, so the more standard version, and you can spot an SE edition from an S-Line kind of four main ways. Firstly, the S-Line badge is missing on the side here. Secondly, the SE edition as standard came without tinted rear glass from the B pillar backwards. The dynamic sweeping indicators are not on the SE edition, so the indicators just flash on and off like normal, and they don't sweep from the inside to the edge of the vehicle like they do on the S-Line and above. And finally, the Quattro sill down here is actually a different shape. It actually is goes to a narrower shape down here, but on the S-Line it's a slightly wider shape. Very subtle difference, but those are kind of the four main ways that you can spot an SE versus an S-Line. So this customer had a few updates done. We've updated his MMI, which was still on the original version from when it left the factory back in 2016. So we've updated it to the latest version. We've done that genuinely online, as we're VW approved to do so. So that's registered on the Audi design database as the vehicle having the latest update. And then we've actually unofficially activated lifetime maps on it. This is effectively an unofficial change to the MMI, which enables maps to be applied for effectively 100 years. The car already had CarPlay and Android Auto, and we could have enabled that as well, but it already had it. And so now the customer can update the maps himself when they're released twice a year using an SD card. Obviously, before we did that, we explained the consequences of doing it this method, and so the customer could then make an informed decision about which route they want to go down. We've also applied a gearbox update to this Q7 4M. Lots of people talk about gearbox updates. There was a gearbox update for this VIN number specifically of this Q7, and again we've applied that genuinely against the Audi system. So as we're VW approved, we can do that. So the gearbox update is applied from Audi Upgrades, and if he takes his car into a dealership, it will show that on the system, and it's all covered under insurance and warranty. You can apply gearbox updates unofficially, but Audi have no recollection or knowledge that that's actually been done. And on the latest systems within the Audi dealerships, you can actually now see those deltas. So your car will be on one version of software on your gearbox, but the dealership will see it flagged as the previous version. And then you've got this delta between what Audi thinks is on your car and what is actually on your car. And that may cause some issues, it may not. Your mileage will obviously vary on that depending on who you talk to. But again, good to know, and then you can make an informed decision. The main reason the customer wanted us to work on this car was keyless entry. This car did not have keyless entry from factory, and while everyone's opinion of keyless entry and security is different, the customer opted for it. So we fitted keyless entry to all four doors, taken the four door handles out, fitted the new sensors inside the door handles. All Q7s will have this square notch on it because it's molded into the handle. Same on A4s, A5s, Q5s, but the actual sensor is missing within inside the handle. So we've actually taken all the handles out, fitted the sensors, wired it all up into the vehicle, and then enabled keyless entry. One thing we had to do before doing that was we had to swap out this module, which is in his car. This is the module that keyless entry effectively is controlled from. And this is the customer's original module in my hand, and this module did not support keyless entry. So we had to get a new one, and again, as VW approved, I could replace it, log it on the Audi design database, so the Audi system knows that he's got the new module, and it's all above board and covered under warranty and insurance and everything else. This module is also part of the immobilizer system, so we've recoded his vehicle keys to the car, because when you swap this module, you have to do that, because this module needs to know about the keys. And so all that's done, and then we could enable keyless entry after that, because the module now in the car does support keyless entry. So all good in that respect. Other than that, the customer also decided to buy new seats, because the seats in the SE edition, the bolsters are not very supportive on the sides and the back of around the sides of your back. And the customer bought some sports line seats from abroad, but unfortunately, because they're abroad, the car he bought them from was a left-hand drive vehicle and not a right-hand drive vehicle. So I've had to rewire the seats and recode the car appropriately to accept them as right-hand drive seats. So the passenger seat is effectively now the driver's seat, and the driver's seat is now the passenger seat, because driving on the other side of the road. The customer also has memory seats from factory, so I had to recode that into the seats, so it now knows that it's got memory seats and everything's now working. Other than that, that was about it. But obviously keyless entry, don't really need to explain much. You all know how that kind of works. As long as you've got the key in your hand, you can grab the handle and the car will unlock, and then you can just tap the little symbol and the car locks again. And obviously we've applied that to all 4 doors. One of the options of keyless entry is the boot kick, where you can kick your foot under the boot and the boot lid will open. The customer decided to not have that fitted. It is standard if you order keyless entry from factory, but in the retrofit world, it's optional, and he decided he didn't want that, so we've just applied the keyless entry to all 4 doors. So that's it now. Car's finished, we've given it a clean down, and we're going to now return the car back to the customer. I hope that was of interest, and any questions, do let me know. Many thanks.